Hello. Sorry. Hello. Good afternoon. Good day, everyone. So I will be discussing the final topic for our pre-final coverage. So the last topic that we will be covering for our pre-finals is the chapter 12 of the quantitative methods book, which I have been provided in the Daigler 25. The topic or the chapter title is all about the project management. So, again, class, the you are being provided with all the necessary materials for this chapter. So, we have the ebook, which is available on the announcements tab of the Daigler. You have the two PowerPoint presentations, which is one you can get from the homepage tab of the Daigler 25 AMS environment, and you have also one which will be found on the announcements tab as well on the supplementary materials, which is ito na yung PowerPoint slide na iprepresent ko sa inyo ngayon. So let's proceed. So as for the learning objectives, so basically mahaba yung chapter, no, but we will be cutting short our learning objectives that would suit to the best of your abilities, and enough theories, yung just enough theories, no, na maa-absorb nyo talaga when we talk about project management. So the learning objectives we have, first is to this chapter. In this chapter you will understand how to plan, monitor, and control the project that you will be implementing soon, no? Kung meron kayong project on your companies or your respective businesses, so you will be equipped on the planning activity, the monitoring activity, and the controlling activity of what you call your business projects, no, soon enough, using the AMS quantitative tool of we have here the PERT and the CPM. So let's understand the concepts on that now thoroughly on the next slides. What is the PERT, what is the CPM, and how it would be applied. So second, when we talk about the PERT and the CPM, so ito na yung mga terms na mai-encounter ninyo. So you have the earliest start, earliest finish, latest start, latest finish, and slack times for each activity, along with the total project completion time. So basically, in here, you will plan so that your project time or project completion time would be as optimal as possible, as minimum as possible. So reduce, so yun nga, no, yung objective natin is to reduce the time it takes for your project to be finished. So this PERT and CPM will definitely reduce your total project time at the least total cost by crashing the network using manual or linear programming techniques. So in here, we will not be dealing with the crashing times or LP anymore. However, dun lang tayo sa surface or sa introductory part, which is the PERT CPM tool. So the PERT CPM tool can help you as well on determining on what areas can you reduce your total project time. So you have here the fourth, meron din tayong software applications. However, hindi na natin siya matackle on our activity. So, yun siya, no? So, meron pa tong actually, the third and the fourth have their own computations. No? Meron pa yung mga complicated questions there. However, hindi na natin siya itatackle because of the ano no the so that it will be convenient and easy for you also to solve the uh, quizzes and examination. So, and as an introduction, so let me start with the introduction of what project management is all about. So, in 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 your respective field, Pohon, so you are to manage a large scale and complicated projects. So, yung project mo, the more larger, the more complicated it is, so the more difficult din yung stakes. So malaki din yung risk or stakes to ano or problema. So that's why the project management tool that I will be introducing to you is yung Bisaya pang di ka mawala. So this tool can help you manage well no yung mga complicated projects mo pohon. So the first thing that you need to do and scheduling the project is to develop the work breakdown structure. So, before I proceed, so project task is the project class is by definition hindi siya yung parang it is not different from the word activity. So, yung project mo is it is a series of activities. So, series of it's a big usually a big uh, it's a big activity no na kunyari your project is to have a new branch of your business. So that's the uh, what we call a project, no? So hindi siya yung kumbaga task lang or activity lang. Hindi ganon yung project task. In business world, when you say I will be having a project soon, so it means that it is a complicated kind of task or activity wherein marami kang gagawin from time to time. So the project class is a activities that has a start, meron siyang start and meron siyang katapusan, meron siyang end time. So your goal is to finish the project, no? Tapusin mo yung project mo. So, you should start at a definite time and you should end at a definite time also. Meaning, you have an objective talaga. It's an objective, hindi siya yung dream na magsasara na lang yung kumpanya ay hindi mo pa natatapos yung isang project, isang tinatawag mo na proyekto or project. So, so that's it, no? Uh, so, on managing that kind of task or activity or a project, so the AMS or the quantitative methods tells you a better way on solving things by first, dito nga sa bullet number 2, it's to break down your work structure. So, you have the project there. So, you have to build a new branch of your business. So, ano-ano yung mga gagawin mo. So, yun na yung work breakdown structure mo. So, una, kukuha ka ng permits. Pangalawa, magka-canvas ka ng area. Pangatlo, mag magka-canvas ka or maghahanap ka ng materyales doon sa construction mo. Pang-apat, mag-hire ka ng tao. Pang-lima, tsaka mo siya i-start. So, yung starting mo din, hindi din siya buong building. It's a progressive task. So, una muna flooring bago yung pataas. So, That's how complicated a project is. So that's why when you are to have a project, so you have to make a work breakdown structure. Maybe you are familiar with the term Gantt chart, no? So a Gantt chart is a project management tool as well. So you have the list of your activities, then dun sa gilid ng Gantt chart is yung, kumbaga, yung timeline mo, no? So yung activity number one, yung magsisecure ka ng permit, gagawin ko siya on January or the week 1 up to week 2. So ganun yung itsura ng Gantt chart, no? Yung parang table. That's in connection also with this kind of chapter, but it's a different one lang. So it's a different lang yung visual tool niya. Iba lang yung itsura niya as compared to the Gantt chart. So the PERT CPM class is that you will appreciate this subject because the project management extends not only, no, ma-appreciate nyo to siya soon because tawag nun. It is not only for you to be equipped on the school just for the compliance, no, but magagamit niyo ito sooner enough sa fields nyo. It is recognized not only in the Philippines, no. So Filipinos are using also the PERT CPM tool. And also, this tool is also recognized not only in our country but also in abroad, American countries, Japanese or Asian industries recognize this management tool. So, wag niyong baliwalain yung PERT CPM. No? It's a very, very good ito yung kumbaga yung gift sa inyo ng Ateneo na magiging equip kayo sooner enough as kung magiging leaders kayo or managers kayo on your respective fields so that you will be equipped enough on making business projects, no? So at least hindi na kayo maninibago. Let's say for example, you can read now the PERT and the CPM diagram. So kung pag pinresentahan kayo ng mga subordinates nyo using the PERT CPM diagram, so at least maintindihan nyo siya kung paano nyo siya babasahin. Or you can make it on yourself as well. Then that's a good visual tool as well to tawag nun, to influence your superior, yung may-ari or yung president ng company ninyo na, sir, meron akong project, so this is uh, the PERT CPM diagram. So it's a way of present yung in a PowerPoint presentation siya, maganda siya as a visual, no? So it's a universal tool when we say project management. So yung work breaks down structure class. Ah, yes, ma'am. Yung breakdown structure class is composed of the following components, no? So in here, so you will be having a breakdown of as much as possible, as detailed as possible. You can list down the project components kung ano yung mga variables na necessary, no? Or yung data na necessary kukunin mo on your breakdown structure. So some of these are the time. So yung cost, yung time, so ilang oras matatapos yung isang activity. So yung costing, so magkano yung magagastos mo sa isang activity. Kunyari, you will be securing a permit. So magkano yung magagastos mo on that kind of activity. So pag-hire ng staff, so magkano yung magagastos mo or how much would be your salary structure for your working force. So resources, no, your management of the resources, yung mga inventory, magkano yung materials na kakailangan, ilang quantity, magkano. So that's some of the ano no uh, components that you can list on your work breakdown structure. You have here the predecessors. So mamaya i-discuss natin yan thoroughly yung predecessors. And the people. So yung kanina na sinabi ko, the workforce. How much workforce will you be needing? Do you need a manager below you or diretso ka na staff? Kailangan mo naman ng engineer or the foreman or depende no on the how big your project is. So as then the last bullet, a schedule of the project then can be developed. So you break down your work structure as detailed as possible. However, on this chapter, so maybe on the as the slide goes paenda yung slide, no? So magagamit lahat to na components. However, doon lang kasi tayo sa introductory part. So ang importante sa atin for as an introduction to the class is that we will be solving especially considering the components of yung time, yung cost perhaps, no, but let's but I think meron or wala ata yung cost. Let's see na lang sa next slide. And especially yung predecessor. Usually dito yung time at saka predecessor yung magagamit natin. I'm not sure with the cost. So, ano na lang natin. Let's see on the succeeding slides, no? But again, class, yung element ng time. So, kung ilang oras, gaano katagal matatapos yung project mo. So, yun yung isosolve natin. Considering the sequence of the activity. So, that's the predecessors, no, na part. So, the sequence of the activity. So, kailangan mo ng prerequisites or sa activities, no. So kailangan mo muna matatapos yung let's say for example on your subject, no. So kailangan mo na matapos yung statistics bago ka makaproceed sa AMS. Kailangan mo munang matapos yung AMS bago ka makaka-proceed sa operations management, so on and so forth. Then, kailangan mo yung operations management bago ka makaproceed sa strategic management. So, that's the how predecessors work, no? The sequence of your activities. So, who are the prerequisites of the activity? Ano yung kailangan tapusin bago ka makaproceed sa isang activity? So, let's start with the PERT CPM concept. So the project management. So here comes the project management works. So yung project is so nasabi ko na ito, no. So I will just read it again, this time in English language. So a project is an integrated set of activities. So it's a set of activities that has a definite starting and ending point, and that results in a unique product or service. So, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, it's not a single activity but it is a set of activities. Meron siyang starting at saka meron siyang ending point. So, hindi siya masosolve kung wala kang ending point. So, the project management therefore works as a scientific tool or a scientific way of planning, implementing, monitoring, and controlling the various aspects of a project such as time, money, materials, manpower, and other resources. So, so you have the project. The project management therefore comes as a tool for you to organize, to plan ahead on the implementation, then pagkatapos ng implementation mo, the monitoring and your control. So when we say project management, so you have here the methods. No? Ito yung mga tools natin, the network planning. So dito na yung AMS tool na i-introduce ka sa inyo, yung PERT at saka yung CPM. So the PERT stands for the Program Evaluation of Review Technique, while the CPM stands for Critical Path Method. So, proceed na ako ha para mabilis. The PERT and the CPM are two popular quantitative analysis techniques to help plan, schedule, monitor, and control projects. Originally, the approaches differed on how they estimate the activity times, uh, but they become so popular that they are commonly considered as one technique. So it's a two separate tools, no? So iba yung PERT, iba yung CPM, pero sobrang sikat nila, sobrang common, sobrang universal nila. They are when you say project management is it's tawag doon na considered as one technique na talaga siya. It's PERT CPM na siya. So, dito, ang pinagkaiba nila actually class is the way of computing the time. So, yung PERT is, uh, sorry, unahin mo natin yung CPM. Yung CPM is sure siya, deterministic yung time niya. Meaning, na-determine niya na yung oras niya. Wala ka nang isosolve. So, kung yung activity 1 mo, so you have the number of days or number of time, the number of period kung kailan siya matatapos. Kunyari yung uh, activity number 1, which is securing the permit of your business. So that's 10 days. So determine na yung time niya. Yung PERT mo, medyo magkaiba. So yung PERT is ko-compute mo pa yung oras. So hindi siya yung ibibigay ng problem solving sa inyo is hindi yung isang oras. So ang ibibigay sa inyo is 3 oras. So out of those 3 given times, so 3 oras yung siya. So for example, uh, yung example ko kanina no, yung pag-secure ng permit. So on securing the permit, the owner will have this possible 3 times. So it can be done in 2 days, it can be done in 3 days, or it can be done up to the extent of 10 days. So yung 3 oras na yon, i-compute mo pa yon bago ka makapag-solve ng project completion time. So or yung per CPM na time doon sa solution mo. So that's the difference between the PERT and the CPM. So before solving that time, so before ka makapag-solve ng oras, no? So ang pinaka-importante dito sa PERT and the CPM is what you call, ito na yung solution mo. So ito na yung network diagram. So ito yung pinaka-solution mo ba doon sa papel na isusulat mo sa exam or sa quiz. So it's a diagram. Hindi na tayo table, hindi na row at saka column. Ang isusulat mo na is the diagram. Drawing, magdo-drawing ka na. So yung network diagram, meron kang 4 na terminologies dito. So ang component ng network diagram is dapat nandoon sa diagram mo yung activity. So so drawing siya. So this drawing pertains to activity number 1, which is to secure the business permit. So dapat nakastate siya doon sa solution mo on your drawing. So, second component na importante sa network diagram is the precedence relationship, yung predecessor, no? So, yung sequence ng activities, which is the predecessor and the successor. So, yung sequence, alin yung mauuna. So, idodraw mo siya on the diagram. And third, and the last one is the event. So, yung event, usually nagagamit siya on what you call AOA approach. So later mamaya, I will describe that terminology. So here are the guidelines on making the PERT CPM diagram. So before the activity can begin, its preceding activities must be completed. So, kaya yung predecessor, yung na-highlight kanina, kasi you have to determine first who which of the activities comes first before proceeding to the next activity. So, importante yung sequence ng activities mo. Importante ma-analyze mo muna or ma-visualize mo muna bago mo i-draw doon sa drawing pad yung sequence ng activity. So, so on that diagram, you will draw an arrow. Arrow siya, no? Dalawang component. Arrow and circle. So, yung arrow mo class, it's very important to have an arrowhead. Itong ulo ng arrow mo. So, that's isa yan sa check item ko. Yung arrow mo should not be a straight line. Kung i-draw mo siya into a diagram, dapat hindi siya yung straight line. Dapat meron kang ituturo mo saan yung next activity by drawing this arrowhead. So, yun lang naman yung diagram, no? So, you have the activity. So, activity is presented as a variable, A, B, C, D. So, it's a letters, no? An arrow, and a circle. So, yan lang yung usually makikita mo sa diagram. It's also what we call the number. Mayroon tayong mga numbers na isusulat. So, the flow of the diagram, so yung pagsusulat mo ng PERT CPM diagram, mayroon siyang sequence. So, yung pagbabasa ko is, ang pagbasahon na ko ang imuhang drawing, ang ako ang pagbasa should be from left to right sequence. So, kung sa yellow paper pa, magsugod diri imuhang activity 1, mahuman siya ang imong project sa diri, sa last activity. So, that's how you draw the die. So, hindi siya pag here going to here. So, your arrow should not point on the left side, but rather always going to the right side. And not also up and down. So, hindi siya ganun na drawing. So, kung wag mong tipirin yung paper, no? So, I will be having an enough space on the examination for you to draw the PERT CPR diagram. So, hindi siya pataas kasi sabihin mo kulang yung drawing mo from left to right horizontally. So, yung ginawa mo, since malaki yung space ng ng vertical, so ginanon mo yung drawing mo, ginanon mo. So, hindi siya pwede. Hindi ganon yung PERT CPM diagram. It should be from left to right. So, the most important guideline here is that you can draw as what your imagination tells you to draw. Ang importante lang dito, so i-drawing mo yung arrow, circle, letter. Depende sa'yo kung ano yung itsura ng PERT CPM diagram mo. Pwedeng hindi kayo magkapareho ng kinokopyahan mo. So, pwedeng iba yung answer mo sa answer ng katabi mo as long as uh, mababasa ko siya from left to right at saka itong number 4 na bullet, it should be your drawing should not have an intersection of your arrows. So, kunyari, meron kang arrow pag ganito. So, dapat yung isang arrow mo should not intersect to a different arrow. So, wala dapat ganitong intersection. So, hindi cross out. Dapat free. Kasi hindi ko na mababasa yan. Malay ko ba kung pag ganito yung ganito or pag ganito yung isa na direction. So, dapat it's a single direction na walang magki-criss-cross na paths. So, yun siya na. Then, dangling should be avoided. So, it's still with the intersection. So, in drawing a diagram, you have two approaches. So, you have the AOA approach and the AON approach. So, yung AOA approach, uses arc to represent activities and nodes to represent events. So this one is an event oriented, while the AON uses the nodes to represent activities and arcs indicate the precedence relationship between them. So it's an activity oriented. So ano yung itsura ng AOA at saka AON? So ganito siya. So the AOA works this way. So again, ang ang drawing ko is from left going to right. So from 1 to number 7. So that's how I read my my PERT CPM diagram. So yung AOA class, yung yung activity on art. Meaning this one, yung label mo ng activity. Yung activity kasi dyan is yung mga variables, yung A, B, C, D, E, F. Yun yung activities mo. Yun yung, kumbaga, variables ba? Kunyari, ah, the first activity I will be doing tawag na mag 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 tawag doon ano ako mag-secure ako ng business permit. So instead of uh, i-label mo siya as a sentence form into the PERT CPM diagram, mag-secure ng business permit. So, i-represent mo na lang yung sentence form into a variable which is a letter. So, pwede mo siya designate as activity letter A. So, ganun siya. Activity letter B, activity letter C. So, usually, yung labeling ng activities class is sunod-sunod yan siya. So, yung A, mauuna A, B, C, D, E. So, in a sequential manner. So, usually, A talaga yung first activity, then si letter Z yung last activity. Or depende na kung how many letters yung ibibigay sa inyo. So, ang activity on art or the AOA, meaning niyan, yung, 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 yung activity mo, naka-label siya. Yung labeling niya or yung isusulat mo yung letter A, letter B, letter C doon sa arc or yung arc that is the arrow. Arc ang tawag nito. And this one, the circle, this one is the node. So, the label of your activity is on the arc side. And the AON is that the label of your activity, it's inside the node. So, kaya yun yung term ng dalawa. The activity on arc and the activity on node. So, mamaya natin siya ano ha, mayroon tayong example. So, network diagram. So, uh, we have here the dummy activity. So, minsan, meron din tayong ginagawang dummy activity. So, kagaya nung assignment problem or transportation problem, di ba may dummy customer or dummy supplier tayo. So, on the per CPM, hindi talaga maiiwasan kasi bawal yung criss-cross ng arrow, di ba? Bawal siya. So, para hindi masira yung drawing mo, gagawa minsan yung yung project proponent ng mag-introduce siya ng dummy activity. So, yung dummy activity, instead of doing the straight line, so yung hard straight line, yung dummy activity is parang ito yung sa three, tingnan nyo yung activity on arc. Yung 3 going to number 4. So that is the dummy activity. What you call the dummy activity. So usually ginagamit siya sa activity on arc approach, sa AOA approach. Usually sa AON, hindi ka mag-introduce ng dummy activity. Walang dummy activity pag AON. So, ang dummy activity, it is used on two situations. When two or more activities start and end at the same nodes, and okay, let's say for example, this scenario number one. So, kung ang dalawang activity mo daw ay matatapos on the same node. So, let's say for example, my here yung si letter B from 1 going to 3 na event, no, uh, that is activity B, then 1 going to 2 na event, that is activity C, then naglagay siya ng dummy from 2 to 3. So ang ibig sabihin yan, yung letter B at saka letter C mo, matatapos siya, dapat matapos siya na activity bago makaproceed ang activity letter D. So instead of connecting, maggawa ka ng tawag dyan, gawin mong curve yung line, no, ng activity C going to activity D. So it's much better for you to introduce na lang a dummy activity. Then, scenario number two, when two or more activities share the same precedence activity, but not all the precedents are shared. So, let's say for example, the situation number two here is on this one. So, ang meaning nito is that CA, so that's 1, 2, 3. So, that's your activity A. So, ang activity B mo naman, that is from event 2 and event 4. So, that's your activity B. Yung letter C mo here is that kailangan mo nang matapos ni letter A mo bago makapag-proceed ang letter C. Yung letter D mo naman, kailangan mo both ng activity A at saka activity B para makapag-proceed ka sa activity letter D. So, yung activity A mo is kailangan siya both ng C at saka D. So, kailangan siya ng both activities, yung both arrows, no, bago makaproceed. So instead of doing two arrows on activity A, dalawang arrow, isang arrow activity A, isang arrow din activity A. So hindi pwede yon. So dapat kada isang arrow, isang activity lang talaga yan siya. So instead of complicating things, mag-i-introduce ka ngayon ng dummy activity, yung broken arrow. So we have here the 6 steps of the PERT and the CPM. So first step. So I will not. So let's do the steps, no. Yung first 3 steps, yung define the project and all its significant activities or tasks. So second, develop relationships among activities and decide which activities must proceed with others. Then third, is to draw the network connecting all the activities. Yung first 3 dyan sa 6 steps, yan na yung gagawa ka ng diagram. So yung 4, 5, 6, iba na naman yan siya na proseso. Diyan siya yung magko-compute ka na ng oras kung kailan matatapos yung project mo. So, okay. Ito yung, let's skip this, let's skip this slide. So, but these are your guide questions that is very, very important when you are to solve with the PERT CPM diagram and the PERT CPM time. So, diretso tayo on the application or the solution. So, we have here a scenario, no? Ang name ng company is General Foundry. Has long been trying to avoid expense of installing air pollution control equipment. The local environment protection group has recently given the foundry 16 weeks to install a complex air filter systems on its main smokestack. General Foundry was warned that it will be forced to close unless the device is installed in the allotted period. They want to make sure that installation of the filtering system progresses smoothly and on time. So again, if sa Tagalog pa, ah, meron environmental protection group. Let's say for example, auditor or environmental auditor na naka-found out na kailangan ah, mag-install ng air pollution control equipment ni General Foundry. Maybe it's affecting the environment. So their their recommendation to the company is to install a air pollution control so that hindi makasira yung planta nila sa environment. So, need talaga, so for example, government, nire-require ka na mag-install ng equipment. Okay. Uh, so let's say for example, government agency or DENR ang Environmental Protection Group, no? So, binigyan sila ng deadline na 16 weeks lang. Dapat ma-install nyo na yung air pollution control equipment or your air filter systems. So, kung hindi nyo magawa, you will be forced to close or to shut down your company. So therefore, walang magawa yung general foundry manager. They have to have engineering team to install and to do the project. So these are the work breakdown structure. So yung sinabi ko kanina no sa taas, instead of having the complicate so having a complicated task of the project, so you have to break down your project into a series. You list down the activities, anong gagawin mo bago ka makabuo ng project project na yon. So in order for the general foundry to install the air pollution control system, so ito yung gagawin ng general foundry. So you have the build internal components, modify roof, so on and so forth. So meron siyang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 tasks or 8 activities bago maka-install, bago mabuo yung air filter system. So walo siya. From letter A to letter H. So that's a sequence, no? Mauuna yung letter A, mahuhuli yung letter H. So, dito, sa work breakdown structure mo, i-indicate mo din yung predecessor mo. So, yung predecessor mo, kumbaga, I will interpret this table, no? Meaning, yung letter A mo, hindi siya nangangailangan ng predecessor. Meaning, siya yung, pag yung predecessor mo is blank, let's say for example, letter A at saka letter B, blanco yan, no? Meaning, siya yung first step on doing the project. So, ang first step ng project natin is to build internal components or modify the roof and floor. Or pwedeng sabay yan siya. Pwedeng sabay. So, yung third, meron siyang immediate predecessor na A. Meaning yan, kailangan muna yung prerequisite na matatapos yung letter A, prerequisite na matatapos dapat yung activity A. Kailangan mo nang matapos ng activity A, build internal components bago ka makaproceed sa activity letter C, construct collection. Ano ko lang ha, copy. bago makaproceed sa letter C. Ganon din sa fourth, kailangan munang matapos ng letter B bago makaproceed sa letter D. So on and so forth. So that's how you read the table. So, so again, first three steps is to make the diagram. So again, you have two ways to make the diagram. So you have the AOA and the AON. So let's try first the AOA diagram. Meaning, meaning, gagawa ka ng circles and arrows. Pagdudugtong-dugtungin mo lang yan siya. Dito yung start, dito yung end. So, ganun siya. You will now turn this table into a visual presentation that you have to make sure na yung activity mo is nakalabel siya doon sa arrow. Hindi siya sa circle. Yung AON sa circle siya. So, AOA muna tayo ha. So, let's try. So, in here, so, pag AOA, ang unang drawing dyan is a circle. So, that's the starting point, no? So, yung AOA, it says here, dalawa yung starting point mo. A at saka B. So, therefore, this one, ito yung letter A, saka this one, dito yung letter B. So, wag mo siyang iganon ha, A and B. Wag ganon. You draw different circles. So, we don't know yet if it comes from the wala kasi siyang predecessor eh. So, siya yung pinaka-start na drawing. So, after the activity A, so you have the event here. Natapos na yung activity A, natapos na yung activity B. So, yung activity C, mag-start yung activity C if matapos yung activity A. So, dito siya sa drawing. So, meaning, si letter C will start after the activity A. So, after ng activity C mo, you have a new event there or a circle. Activity D, therefore, will start after the activity letter B. So, after na activity D mo, that you created a new event. So, yung letter E mo, tsaka letter F, they, eh, they will start both after your activity letter C. So, dalawa siya. So, meaning, ang product ng activity C mo, therefore, makapag-start ang letter E at saka letter F. So, ganun siya. Oh, nakalimut ba? Pero ano ka? Balik. Pag iluto, kaya pero makasakuran. Consider yan mabag. 30. So, okay. So, this one, after ng activity C mo, makapag-start na yung activity E tsaka activity F. So, ganun siya. And your activity G will then start after your activity T at saka activity E. So, complicated na siya sa drawing, no? So, you can have a para hindi mag-criss-cross yung drawing mo, hindi magkaroon ng ganon, ang magandang gawin dito class, magandang remedy is that you will ilipat mo na lang, no? Dito na lang yung activity E mo at saka activity F mo. Para in your drawing, activity G will start when your activity D at saka activity E will end. So, kailangan ng activity D at saka E bago yung G makapag-start. Then, your activity H, ito din, complicated. So, dapat silang mag-meet yung F at saka G bago makapag-start yung activity H. So therefore, ang magandang gawin, depende ha kung ano yung pagkakadrawing ninyo. You can choose to have your uh, F dito na din, dito yung G. So, kailangan ko yung dalawang process bago ako makapag-proceed sa letter H. Then, after ng letter H, that's a event. Or dito na mag end yung proseso. So, that's how you draw the PERT CPM diagram using the AOA approach. So, hindi pa pala dito natapos class. So, if you're done with this one, it is now your task to label your circles, yung nodes mo, kailangan siyang may label ng event number. So, yung sequence ng activity. So, meaning, number siya. So, numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 hanggang ilan, depende kung ilan yung circles mo, no? So, mag-start dito, no? So, you can have here start. Ang starting point mo is A and B. Or pwede din siyang baliktad class ha. Pwedeng 1 at saka 2. Because it doesn't matter sino yung mag-start, si A ba or si B. So, pwede. Pwedeng baliktad or depende sa inyo. Pwedeng magkabaliktad siya. Pagkatapos ng 1 and 2, your next step is 3 and 4, right? So, again, uh, we don't know yet kung sino yung mauuna. So, that's for A and B. So, 3 and 4. So, ganyan yung pagkaka-label mo. C will become the 5. And here will become the 6, 7, and 8. So, nakaposition siya na ito kasi sabay. So, ito sabay. This one is ganun. uh, a little bit farther, a little bit farther, then a little bit farther. So, ganun yung pagkaka-label mo sa numbers. Then next, let's draw if AON naman. AON. So, pag AON, ang activity mo, ganun pa rin. It's a series of arrows and circles. This time, yung label ng activity mo is nandoon siya sa node. Nandoon siya sa inside ng circle mo. So, hindi na numbers yung sa circles mo. So, let's proceed. I-ano ko muna ha. I-ano ko muna to. Dito na lang sa taas mo. Okay. So, sa AON, maiiba siya. So, ala. Ganun na lang. So, yung AON maiiba. You have a single starting point. Isang starting point siya. Start. So, hindi siya dong dalawang, yung kanina, kasi yung dalawa is, yung starting mo is the activity mismo. The activity A and the activity B. Yung dito, magkakaroon ka pa ng, you will label your first activity as the starting activity mo. So, parang that's your timeline 0. Parang day 0 mo siya. Then, yung start mo, dito ka na mag activity A at saka activity B. Ganyan siya ha, pag AON. So, start yung first circle, then gawa ka ng arrow. So, depende kung ilan yung predecessor na blanco, ganun din karami yung arrows mo. So, kung tatlo yan siya, meaning tatlo yung arrow mo. That's A, B, and C. Ganun siya. Pero on this particular
problem, dalawa lang man yung ano, yung blanco. So meaning dalawang araw lang yung gagawin mo after ng starting node mo. After ng starting circle mo. So after ng start, gawa ka ng dalawang arrow, then you have your activity A and activity B. Yung activity C mo would follow after your activity A. Ano siya? Tama? Activity D, please notice class that I have drawn the arrowhead. So, hindi siya pwedeng ganun. A, B. Huwag ganun kayo mag-drawing ha. Because I cannot understand that drawing. Dapat may arrowhead kayo always. Okay. Letter E and letter F is a product of your activity C. So, dalawang arrow. Activity C mo. Activity E and activity F. So, ganun siya. Then, activity G is a product of your E and your D. And your H is a product of your F and your G. And after ng H mo, wala ka ng next activity. This one is your end. So, kailangan kasi yung project, meron siyang start, tsaka meron siyang end. So, ganun siya class ha. So, that's how you draw the AON diagram. So, kung mamali yung labeling mo dito, kunyari, nasulat mo yung E at saka F dito. So, pwede mong baliktarin yung dalawang letters as much as possible. It doesn't necessarily mean na sequential din yung drawing mo dito. So, pwede kasing due to complicated uh, prerequisites or predecessors, kaya minsan yung previous letter is masusulat mo siya on here na part as compared to doon sa mga let's say for example G nandito na part. So it doesn't necessarily na magkakasunod-sunod yung labeling mo ng letter. Doon lang sa table siya magkakasunod. However, dito sa diagram, depende sa complicated na ah, na pagbasa mo doon sa table. So, ganun din yung resulta ng AON diagram mo. So, okay, let's proceed. So, you are done with the drawing. So, ganun na siya. This is the AON drawing. So, no, instead of labeling, so you can just use circles and arrows. Uh, then you can label your circle as in letter A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So, ganun siya. Okay. So now, uh, as a task, no? So please draw the AOA and AON diagram for this problem. So I will be posting a Diagler task, then isasubmit nyo na lang doon yung answers niyo. So we are done with the step 1, 2, and 3. Now let's continue on our solution by getting the total project time. So yung total project time, you have to do the 4, 5, and 6. So tasks. So assign time or cost for each activity, compute the longest time to the network. It is a critical path and use the network to help plan, schedule, monitor the project. So usually yung time, it's given. So the number 4 step there, it's given. So again, yung pag-solve mo ng either PERT or CPM class is magkakaiba. So meron kang solution doon sa time. So ito yung mga time na mga terms, no? So The CPM assigns just one-time estimate to activity as it is used to find the critical path. So isang oras lang yung given pag CPM yung computation mo. However, mas complicated siya pagdating sa PERT kasi tatlo yung ibibigay na oras sa inyo. Uh, the PERT employs a probability distribution based on three-time estimates. So, okay. Sa PERT CPM, ito yung pinakamahalaga. So, pag na-solve mo na yung CPM kasi, given na siya. Hindi ka na kailangan mag-solve. So, yun na yung oras na i-compute mo doon sa solution mo sa diagram. Pero yung PERT, isosolve mo muna yung oras bago mo siya gamitin doon sa PERT CPM diagram mo. So, later I will come. Doon sa PERT CPM diagram class, ang i-draw mo, may additional drawing ka doon na isusulat mo yung ES, EF, LS, at saka LF. So, I will, so these are the definitions, no? So, I will skip the slide. You just review it again so that, tawag nun, so that mas ma-appreciate nyo yung application na talaga. So, on estimating the project completion time. So may dalawang method siya. You have the forward pass and the backward pass. Then you have here a term also the slack time. So it's a difference between the earliest start and latest start or difference between the earliest and latest finish time. So balikan natin tong pass, backward pass and also computing the slack time. So doon sa PERT CPM diagram mo, magdodraw ka pa ng bahay-bahay. So you have the ES, EF, LS, and the LF. So dito, sa diagram mo, di ba, may ganito ka man. Dito tayo sa AON. Sa AON. So sa AON, always sa AON. Dito sa AON, hindi mo siya magagamit yung computation mo class ha. Dito lang sa AON. So sa AON, gagawa ka ng bahay-bahay dyan. Bawat activity, bawat circle, lagyan mo ng bahay-bahay. Depende kung sa taas or sa baba. Basta may bahay-bahay ka. Itabi mo siya always class doon sa circles mo. So, sa letter E. Dito na drawing. So this is the house of A, C, E, F, H, G, D. So every circle meron kang bahay-bahay. Except doon sa start at saka end. So sa bahay, ang component ng bahay is meron tayong ES, earliest start, earliest finish, and latest start and the latest finish. Then you have the slack time. So yan yung component ng bahay-bahay mo. So ano yung isusulat mo na time? That's numbers yung nasa loob ng bahay klasa. So wala tayong example dito. So let's say for example, we are to solve it using the PERT, no? Kunyari, PERT yung problem. Pag PERT yung problem, di ba meron tayong works breakdown structure, yun, nandun yung A, B, di ba ito, tawag dito, di ba ito yung kanina. So, dito sa gilid, pwede ba kung mag-ballpen doon? Dito sa gilid class, after ng immediate predecessor, meron pa siyang additional column dyan. So, lalagyan yan siya ng itong optimistic time, most probable, at saka pessimistic time. So, pag PERT ang problem, given lahat tong numbers na nandito. Ngayon, before ka makapag-compute nitong ES, EF, LS, LF, kailangan mo muna kunin yung expected time at saka variance. Yung expected time, meron siyang formula na ganito. So, ito yung expected time. Yung A plus 4M plus B divided by 6. Then yung variance mo naman, yung formula ng variance is B minus A over 6, then squared. So don't worry, maybe I have a guide, no? I have a guide on the examination kung paano i-compute yung uh, expected time at saka variance. So, okay. So yung A is actually your optimistic time. Ang M, that's the most probable, and the pessimistic time is the letter B. So, pag optimistic yung decision maker, usually, uh, ang sabi niya is, mabilis siyang matatapos. Kaya na ko ni into one day yun, mahuman niya na activity or one week. Pag pessimistic, medyo nega, ay sir, basi di kaya, basi magka-problema. So maybe give me 3 weeks sir bago mahuman ng mga activity na na. And the most probable, maybe dili siya optimistic o pessimistic. So instead of being early or being late, so dito lang siya sa average, no, nasa sa tunga lang. So that's how PERT times are being interpreted now. So that's why instead of uh, solving isang, kunyari, optimistic lang, hindi siya ganon. So, kailangan mo pa siyang i-solve into unexpected time. I-convert mo pa siya into unexpected time. So, yung formula is A plus 4M plus B. Yung A is the optimistic, yung B is the pessimistic. Actually, i-add mo lang din naman siya. Wala kang i-minus dyan. Ah, i-add mo lang yung 1 and 3. Then, yung nasa gitna, i-multiply mo ng 4. So, that's 1 plus 2 times 4. Ang 2 times 4 is 8 now. So, 1 plus 8 plus 3. So, that is 1 plus 8 plus 3. That's 12. So, 12 ang numerator mo divided by 6. So, that's 1 plus 8 plus 3. So, 12 ang nasa taas mo, no? Divided by 6. Ang 6 dira og ang 4, anana na siya sa formula, no, na constant na siya. Ang M, i-multiply nimo og 4, o niya, ang denominator nimo is always at 6. So, so 2 ang answer, ana. So, same goes for letter B. So, 2 plus 4 times 3, that's 12, no? 4 times 3 is equals to 12. So, plus 2 plus 4. So, ang answer is 18. Divided by 6, that is 3. So, ang variance na to, class, it's expressed as a decimal value. So, usually naka-decimal siya, or pwede siya lagpas sa 1, pwede siyang 10.5, pwede po siya ah, gamay lang. But, however, the variance is not a negative number. Kasi kung i-minus mo siya, naka-squared ka man kasi, no? So, kahit negative yung answer mo, i-square mo man siya, so magiging positive pa rin yan siya. So, ang formula niya is B minus A. So, yung malaking number, i-minus mo sa maliit na number. The B here, the 3 minus 1, that's 2, divided by 6. That's 0.33. Yung 0.33, i-squared mo siya or i-multiply mo siya sa 0.33 rin. So the answer is 0.1111. So same goes for letter B. So that's 4 minus 2. That's 2 divided by 6. 0.3333 ang answer, no? Times 0.3333. So that's still 0.111. So ganun siya, no? So, we have here the answers from the book. So, yung variance niya lang is naka-fraction. However, on the exams and quizzes, do not use the fraction. Use a decimal number here, no? So, maybe the safest value is 4 decimal points kung decimal lahat yung answer. Or I can have it on the instruction, maybe 2 decimal lang or 3 decimal lang. So, nakadepende na sa instruction ko. So, ito na yung uh, natapos natin na uh, chart. So, pag CPM class, ito pag PERT kasi. Pag CPM, hindi ka na makakakita ng optimistic, most probable, at saka pessimistic. Isang oras lang yan. So, for example, uh, single values lang yan siya. Those single values are actually the expected time na mismo, no? So, hindi mo na kailangan i-solve yung expected time pag CPM kasi given na siya. So, you have A. So, isang column lang after the A. So, expected time na yun. So, ganun pag CPM. Then, wala siyang variance na computation. Yung PERT, meron siyang variance na computation. So, okay. So, now we have these values. Wala. Asa ito? So, kunyari, meron na tayong ganito, no? So, therefore, ang gagamitin natin is the values of our computed expected time. So, dito na tayo, ito na yung basis natin on filling up the values of your house. So, una is the ES, yung forward pass muna. Yung forward pass is a passing from left to right, forward passing. Yung backward pass is from right to left. So mamaya yung ifo-forward pass natin is the values of your ES and the LS, EF. Yung iba-backward pass natin mamaya is the values of your LS and your LF. So mamaya yan siya ha. So ES and the EF muna tayo. So, yung earliest start, always magsisimula yung project mo at the timeline 0. Yun yung always starting point mo. So, B will start, earliest start. The starting time of your activity B is at time 0. Your, your activity A will start at day 0. Your B will start at day 0 also. So, yung A mo, the finish time of of your letter A and the finish time of your letter B is the expected time to finish, no? So, matatapos yung activity A ko into 2 days or 2 weeks. That's for example, weeks yung nakalagay or days yung nakalagay. So, yung B ko naman, matatapos siya in 3 days. Days, kunyari days na siya. So, therefore, ang earliest finish ko for letter A is after the second day. And the earliest finish for the activity B is the, 3. 3 on the third day. So, ganun siya. We will now proceed with the forward passing concept. So, I will pass it to the next activity. So, therefore, ano yung ipapasa mo na oras? Yung finish time. So, therefore, yung letter C mo would start, makapag-start yung letter C mo after the second day. Ganon siya. And yung letter D mo, makapag-start siya after the third day. Kung ano yung nilagay mo sa earliest finish ng previous activity. So, ganon siya. Now, what will happen on the earliest finish of your C and D? So, C and D, si C, matatapos siya within 2 days. And si letter D, matatapos siya on 4 days. So, si letter C, therefore, mag-start siya on the second day plus 2 days. So therefore, matatapos siya on the fourth day. So 2 plus 2. Si letter D ko naman, mag-start siya on the third day. Matatapos siya within 4 days. So 3 plus 4, that is, matatapos siya on the seventh day. So on and so forth. So mamaya na tong letter G, medyo complicated to ha. So iuna muna natin yung E at saka F kasi medyo madali siyang basahin. So sa letter E natin, mag-start after the fourth day. And the letter F will also start after the fourth day. Si, okay, mamaya na yung letter G. The E will finish af, the E will finish the task within 4 days. So therefore, mag-start siya on the fourth day, matatapos siya within 4 days. So matatapos siya on the eighth day. So 4 plus 4, that's 8. Si letter F mo naman, matatapos siya within 3 days. So 4 plus 3, that is 7. Matatapos siya on the seventh day. So sa letter G naman, ano yung gagamitin mo na earliest start time ng letter G? So, si letter G, kailangan niya both ang E, kailangan niya matapos muna yung letter E, tsaka letter D, bago siya makapag-start sa proseso niya. Therefore, ang gagamitin mo, it's not the 7, it's not the 8. So you have to determine, ano ba talaga? Is it the 7 or the 8? So pag forward passing class, ang always na ipapasa mo na oras is yung malaking number. So, mag-start si letter G on the 8th day, not on the 7th day. Because, kailangan niyang both ang letter E at saka letter D matapos bago makapag-start yung letter G mo. So kung nilagay mo na 7 yung letter G mo class, so mag-start siya on the 7th day. So hindi pa man tapos yung letter E mo. So kailangan mo pa yung process ng letter E mo matapos bago makapag-start yung letter G mo. So therefore may iniwan kang isang proseso bago mo siya i-start. So kailangan matapos yung dalawang activity. Dapat on the 8th day ka mag-start bago ka mag-start ng process mo on the letter G. So, si letter D, matapos siya on the 7th day. Hintay siya ng isang araw kasi hintayin niya muna matapos yung letter E. So, sa next day pa siya makapag-start kasi kailangan muna matapos ng dalawang proseso na yon bago makapag-start si letter G. So, si letter G would take the company's 5 days to finish. So 8 plus 5, that is 13. So same goes story no sa letter H. Ang letter H, kailangan niya both letter G at saka letter F matapos bago siya makapag-start sa proseso niya. So instead of 7, kailangan niya magantay ng 13 days to start the process or activity of letter H. Then matatapos siya on 2 days time. Therefore, 13 plus 2, matatapos siya on the 15th day. So, therefore, yung project completion time na tanong is actually on the 15 days. So that kasi si H na yung last process 15 days or 15 weeks. So kung ano yung nandito, yung pinakadulo mo na earliest finish, yun yung usually project completion time. So we are done with the E as in the LF, EF. So we will now proceed with the LS and the LF concept. Yung so LS and the LF concept is actually a backward pass concept. So mauuna tayo on the letter H papunta sa start of our activity. So, una, ang LF ang imuhang i-fill up pag mag-solve ka sa backward passing. So, ibutang na equal na mo 15, 15. So, iba backward pass. This time, so, plus plus man ta ganina no. This time i-minus minus na nato siya. So si letter H minusan nato og 2 days. So naa siya'y 13. So ganito siya ha. I have 15 days total project completion time. So for activity H alone, I need to spend 2 days to finish the project. So therefore, babawasan ko yung 15 days ng 2 araw. So countdown ka ngayon. So meron na lang akong 13 days na ipapasang deadline sa mga previous activity day ko. Dapat matapos niyo yung activity niyo ha after the 13 days. So yun yung ipapasa ko na oras. So I will pass the 13 on both. So backward pass na tayo no, backward. On both G and both F processes. So, yung 13, pinasa ko kang G at saka ng F. So, si letter G, matatapos na yung trabaho niya in 5 days. So, countdown. So, meron na lang siyang minus 5, 8 days na ipapasa sa next process. Yung letter F ko naman, matatapos siya on the 3 days. So, 13 minus 3. So, ang ipapasa niyang countdown timer is 10 days. Kasi 3 days man matatapos ang letter F. So, yung letter G muna tayo. G. Si letter G, ipapasa niya ngayon yung countdown timer kang E at saka D. So, mayroon na lang kayong 8 days ha bago matapos yung project natin. So, spend it wisely. So, letter E would spend 4 days to complete its task. So, minus 4. So, 4 days left. Yung ipapasa niyang countdown timer. Yung letter D naman will spend still 4 days din, no? So, minus 4. So, meron siyang 4 days na countdown timer. So, dito muna tayo sa baba. Bago yung sa taas ha. So, si letter D, meron siyang 4 days countdown timer na ipapasa kang letter B. Si letter D mo, meron kang 3 days to finish the task. So, minus 3, you have 1 day left on your countdown timer. So, that's the end of your computation on this side sa baba. Sa taas tayo. So, si letter C, ano yung latest finish na ipapasa ko kang letter C? So, si letter C would take the countdown timer na maliit. Yung kanina, kung forward passing, yung, iba, hihintayin mo yung malaking number. So, yun yung ipapasa mo pag forward pass. Pag backward pass, yung ipapasa mong number is the between 10 and 4. Yung ipapasa mo na number on the next task is yung may maliit, which is the number 4, yung maliit. Between 4 and 10, so number 4 yung ipapasa mo na number. Hindi yung 10. So, meaning yan, so, between 10 days countdown and the 4 days countdown, yung tight schedule yung ipapasa mo. Huwag ka doon sa maluwag kasi malamang sa malamang hindi matatapos yung project mo. Doon ka sa tighter schedule. So, pagpasa ng schedule mo, doon ka sa tight. So, in reality, you have only 4 days left kasi kailangan ko pang matapos yung activity ko. So, huwag ka doon sa 10 days kasi maluwag yun. Hindi pa ako matatapos. So, ang real countdown mo is you have only 4 days left to finish the activity, the project. So, therefore, si letter C, matatapos niya activity niya within 2 days, so minus 2. So 2 days left. So 2 days left. Countdown timer would be passed on the letter A. Then minus 2 days. So 0. So we have here the slack time. So we can now therefore solve for our slack time. Ang slack time class is actually a minus, no? Isasubtract mo lang yung dito, ES minus LS or EF minus LF. So absolute value, always positive yan siya. So that's 0 minus 0 or 2 minus 2. So that would become 0 minus 0 or 2 minus 2, that is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0 also. Letter C, 2 minus 2 is 0. 4 minus 4 is 0. So, dependent, pareho lang yan ang sagot, no? Pwedeng isang side lang yung i-minus mo. Kung magkaiba class, medyo meron tayong problema kung magkaiba yung sagot mo. Dapat pareho yan siya. So, dito, 4 minus 4 is 0. 8 minus 8, that is 0. Dito sa F, that's 4 minus 10, it's 6. 13 minus 7, it's still 6. Then H, 13 minus 13 is 0. Sa letter G, 8 minus 8, it's 0. Sa letter D, 3 minus 4 is 1. And letter B, 0 minus 1 is 1. So that's it, no? So the guide question here is, what is the project completion time? Ay, wait lang. What is yung guide questions dito, class, are the following, no? What is usually ito yung mga tanong. What is the critical path? What is the project completion time? What is the project variance? So, yun siya. So, pag sinabi natin critical path, to know the critical path of the project class, it is a path, sequence from your start to end. So, if follow mo lang yung path or yung direction ng arrows mo, in which will lead you to a sequence of having your zeros na slack time. Ganon siya pag-compute. So, yung critical path natin is from letter A, going to letter C, going to letter E, going to letter G, and going to letter H. So, that's our critical path. So, itong may mga 1, 1, tsaka 6. So, that's not the critical path. Ang interpretation dyan, class, for your appreciation is that you have a sobra na oras, no, to finish your project, to finish the activity. It is interpreted as pwede ka ma-delay ng 1 day to finish the letter B. Pwede mong hindi simulan on time yung letter B, pwedeng the next day pa, kasi meron kang sobra na 1 day time to finish the letter B. Same goes with letter D. You have a slack time of 1 day. Meron kang sobra na oras. Letter F, meron kang sobra na 6 days. So, pwede mo siyang i-delay within 6 days to do the activity F because that's not your critical path. Yung critical path mo is a path wherein these activities should not be delayed. Zero, wala kang allowance. Dapat ma-start mo siya on time, ma-finish mo siya on time. So on managing projects, ito yung pinaka tinitingnan ng mga engineers or ng mga managers, ito yung tututukan mo na activity. So, wag ka dun titingin sa B, D at saka F na activity kasi hindi mo priority yon. Yung priority mo, para hindi ma-delay, magkadaletse-letse yung project mo, is yung critical path, yung imo-monitor mo na activity. Kasi walang room for delay, zero yung slack time. So, project completion time, just add, pwede kang tumingin dito sa last node, no? So, within 15 days. Or, if you want to solve, that is the time of your A, C, E, G, H. A, expected tayo ng A, 2 plus C. 2 plus 2, E plus 4 plus G plus 5 plus 2. So that's 2 plus 2, 8. So 2 plus 2, 4 plus 4, 8 plus 2, 10 plus 5, 15 days. Yung project completion time. Yung project variance mo naman, still sa critical path ka. This one plus this one plus this one plus this one plus this one. So, it's a decimal form, no? So, I don't know, 11.11 ba yun? Wait lang, class, 4 divided by 36, that's 0.11. That's 3.11 yung prod, project variance. So, you can have your solution here. Ano yun? 2 plus 2 plus something, then 15 days. Dito yung 0.11 plus 0.11. Then you have the 3.11. So, wala siyang unit. So, walang days, walang ano. That's purely a number. Yung completion time, depende doon sa problem na pwedeng weeks, pwedeng days, pwedeng year, pwedeng months. Depende kung ano yung unit ng time na minimeasure natin. So, that's it, no? So, another guide question class, if example, you have a multiple critical paths, no? Okay, kunyari nangyayari yan. Kunyari ito is zero. Zero din yan siya. Kunyari lang zero din yan siya. So you can now have, so this original, no, kasi ito yung path natin kanina. You declare that one, and you also declare another critical path from dalawang critical path going to C, going to F, and going to H. A, C, F, and H. So, dalawang route yung pwede mong daanan bago ka makapag sabi na critical path din yung isa. So, pag tatlo, tatlo. Pero usually class, isa lang naman yan siya, yung critical path. Pero kunyari nagkataon na dalawa on your future subjects, no? Ganitohin mo lang siya. Isa yung critical path sa isa, then another critical path then for another path then for the different path. Kasi iba yung rota ng pagganito, saka iba yung rota ng pagganito. Again, yung route mo from start to finish. So, I guess that's it. Again, ang CPM concept, same lang yan siya. Yung given na sa inyo is the expected time. So, you don't need to compute. So, ganun pa rin yung concept. Lagay nyo pa rin yung ESEF, LSLF. Pero yung titingnan nyo na yung expected time na computed na siya pag CPM yung concept na or problem yung ibibigay sa inyo. Pag PERT, tatlo yung oras na given, yung optimistic, most probable, at saka pessimistic. Tsaka ka magko-compute ng expected time. Pag CPM, Ang i-given lang is isang oras lang. Expected time na yon siya, diretso. So, this ends my topic and thank you once again.
Mao to gani, paltasan kayo ng 6 months. Pero hindi isang bigayan. Every month, paltasan kayo